Welcome back to CAD 293, and we are going to be working with sheet metal today in SolidWorks. So first thing we want to do, I'm going to actually draw this one up in our tutorial, and we are going to start out by setting everything up, File, New, Part. And when you do this, inside of here, I want to make sure that I have my settings set right. Go to units, it's in inch, pound, seconds, and we're going to 3 decimal places here. And I hit OK on that, so we're ready to start drawing. So what I want to do is I want to first go into my sketch mode, and I want to hit sketch, and just like you normally are, and go ahead and start drawing this up. Put that in there, my smart dimensions, we'll go ahead and hit those, and that one is 1.620, and then 1.508. I want to put a circle right in the middle of this thing, so I put me a line there so I have a placeholder to catch my midpoint. Get up our halfway close, smart dimension it, and it is 0.745. Enter, and then hit that line right there and delete. And I want to exit my sketch. And at this point, we are needing to extrude it. Now you could extrude it just normally, or you can come over here and hit Base Flange Tab, click on that. And when you do that, it's going to bring this up like this. And in your book, it's going to tell you how thick they want this sheet metal, the parameters of this. This is the thickness, and they want 0.0625. The K factor is it's going to be, click on your bend allowance, K factor is 0.41, and down here your auto relief is Obrond, and you're going to open this little guy right up here, and it's going to be 0.0625 for the width, and then 0.03125 down here for your depth of it. Okay, and this will make a little bit more sense a little bit later on. If you'll actually take and look at the introductory in this chapter, it will go over what the K factor means, and as well as like the actual thickness of the part, the bend angle, the bend radius, and the length of the bend allowance. It'll go through and it'll make sense of all these numbers if you take time to do that. So once you get it in there, check mark it, you're good and ready to go. Now the next thing that we need to do is make us another sketch on this, and we're going to cut out those little pieces. There's a few pieces in this, so we hit sketch, click on the face of it, and we're ready to sketch this thing out. Turn this thing around. And I'm just going to put a couple of these in here. This one goes just like this. I'm just parametric putting these things in. Okay. And then we've got a couple that are going to be right here, right there. Just we'll throw them in there, and then we'll put the measurements on them here in just a second. Smart dimension. So I want to get a calculator up real quick when I start doing this. And overall, the whole drawing here is 1.508 this way. 1.508 minus 1.325, and divide that by 2. So each one of these from here to here is 0.090. Was it 0.091? I'll go back and check. 0.0915. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that in for all these. 0.095 or 0.0915. We'll get that in there. We'll take just a minute. 0.0915. Okay. And then we'll get the length of those in, which the length of it is The overall distance of this thing is 1.62 minus 1 be 0.62 divided by 2 be 0.31. So let's check this out. This would be 0.31 here. 0.31. They'll all be 0.31 up through here, so that'd be easy to get those. Smart dimension. Smart dimension. 0.31. 0.31. 0.31. 0.31. 0.31. 0.31. And we'll have every bit of those completed. 0.31. And those are great. And now we just got to get these things indicated in. These are 0.125 each. So I'll just come up here. 0.125. 0.125. 125. And then I'm going to put myself a line right in the center of this thing, and that's what I want to use as something to dimension off of. And you can see inside here is 0.330 to the center of these, so I'm going to go from here to here, and it would be 0.330 minus half of 0.125 is 0.06125. And that will move that there. 0.269. 0.269. Got them spaced. Got that spaced. Got this spaced. Perfect. Now I want to go in and I got to put them little round pieces in, and you see how we got a circle here. I want to go to perimeter circle. All I have to do is hit these, this side, and then that side. See how it puts it in, which is really nice. I can do that all the way through. And then I want to hit trim, entities, power trim, zoom in here. Just use my little power trim button to clean that up inside. Power trim, power trim. Come down here and we'll power trim these. Power trim, power trim, power trim. Just like that. And now you're all done, so just exit your sketch. Now you can use the cut down here, you can use, or you can use your feature mode, hit your cut up here. It doesn't matter, either one you want to use. So hit cut, and then come in here and just grab those. We've got them in there just like that. And now you want to just do through all, check mark. So you got that much of it done. Next thing I want to do is I want to put these little flanges on the side, and there's a flange tool right here, and these are flange ears that's going to come off the side of this. So all you have to do is hit your flange right here, flange, and when you do that, you want to click on, let's click on this edge right here, base flange. Click on that, and you see how it wants to. It's going to put that flange on there for you. So you just got to come over here and fill in the information. Edge 1 is picked, and they're wanting to use 0.09375 right here in this table, and that's going to be our bend radius. 0.010 is good there. The angle is 90 degrees. We've got that in there. The distance is 0.5. Okay. And the outer, down here, you want to use the outer virtual sharp. You've got the inner virtual sharp, and then you got the tangent bend. Now that's just measuring it. If you can look here, if I can hit this one, see how it changes in your drawing. Hit this one. It just changes the way that you're measuring. So we're going to measure from the outer virtual sharp of this. That would be just like where it's intersecting at the bottom of it. And that's what we want. And then we have the flange position. Where do you want the material to be? In this one here, we want to be the material on the outside. If you do the inside, it looks like that. If you do the outside, it looks like that. You want the material outside, and we'll come down here, and this is going to be the custom bend allowance, and of course it's going to be K. This is all set right, and then the relief. This is going to be like a little relief back up in here. We got to set that again. Custom relief, and you want that old brown on this one, and I'll show you the difference. If I hit rectangle, if I hit old brown, and let's see, it's going to make a little bit more sense right here. We'll want a 0.06625 on the width, and then on the depth is 0.03125. You put that measurement. Now do you see how it's got that little cutaway? That's just going to be relief. If I change that and went to rectangle, see how the relief is just flat? And then if you do tear, it's not going to have a relief at all. So you want that browned relief as much as possible if you can put one of those in. And then after you get all those, everything in there set like that, we're going to go back in here and just check mark it. And you got that in. Now, we got that part right there, that piece in. And now, all you have to do if you want to put that on the other side is come right in here and just edit your feature. And then just come up here in this, and you can just go over here and click on this edge here as well. And it'll put the exact, it puts another one in there for you. So check mark. So we got two of them in now. And you might want to go in there and just check your dimension and make sure that this thing from this face to this face is exactly 1.508. And we can do that by going into Tools, and you've got Evaluate, Measure. You can click on that. Face to this face, 1.508 is exactly right with that. Okay? That's what we wanted. So we're doing good. And now the next step on making this is going to be putting adding a tab to the side of it. And I think that they've got like a slot cut in it. You just make a new sketch and just put your slot in it just like you would just as normal as you do an extrude. But now I want to put this tab in. So all you have to do on this one is we got to go and start us a new sketch. Okay, and we're going to hit Base Flange Tab. Click on this and click on this face, and then we're just going to draw it up as normal. And we're going to put this measurements in there. Just draw it up. Starts right there. And I'm just eyeballing it. Comes up. I'm just going to come over, straight down. And I'll just do halfway because it's going to be the same. And I'll mirror it here in just a second. But anyways, what I want to do is I've got to get some measurements on this thing first. I want to go right from the dead center of this thing over, and I'll trim. And let's put some measurements to this. This right here should be, well, actually, it comes, I can grab this. This needs to break loose from there. So actually, I'll have to delete this line out because I see something I didn't put in there. This line comes down so far, then it kind of bends in, and then it comes down. So now, what I want to do is I want to put the dimensions in there and get this thing lined up. So from here to there is going to be 0.25. Okay, now the width of that is 0.25. From here to here is 0.25. So we got that set. Now wait, 0.25 was up here. So this right here needs to be changed. We'll change that in just a second. So from here to here is 0.25. Okay. And it's really 0.615. Let me delete this one out real quick. Delete that out. I want a smart dimension from the face of this to this right here is actually 0.615. That pulls it back in there. We got that 0.2525 there, and then we need to go ahead and put this circle in here. We have got a radius. We'll have a radius, or diameter up here. So I'm just going here and grab my circle right in the center of it, and we'll slide it out there to that. We'll trim this in, power trim, and then we've got to adjust this smart dimension from this point here up to the center of this is 0.4. Wasn't too far off. And after that, we're going to put in this little circle, and we could have actually done a slot on that if we wanted to. And right here's a slot, but it's okay. We can go ahead and put it in just like this. It doesn't really matter. And then we just got to go in there and just dimension these things out. And this was supposed to be 0.0625 radius. 0.0625 radius times 2 will give you the diameter. And 0.125. This one's 0.125. And then we'll just connect them together, hitting their quadrants. Line, I'll catch that one to that one. And then I'll just do a power trim on this. Power trim right in the middle. We'll cut all that stuff out. So we've got our slot now. We're looking good here. And let's see what other measurements we got. This one right here was supposed to be 150 degrees, and also there was a dimension coming off the face of this to this point right there, and it is 8.2 or 0.82. Kind of pulls it in, and now let's do a smart dimension. Let's see if I can get this angular dimension here. It's supposed to be 150. 150. Oh, my bad. I hit it in the wrong spot. I thought that looked a little weird. Let's delete that one out. Smart dimension from here to here should be 150. There we go. And then we need to just get this dimension on this one back lined up. The dimension on that one should be 0.25. 0.25 diameter. Oh, radius. Okay. 125. And it's over constrained right now, so what we'll do, we'll just delete this one out and we'll fix it. We'll delete this out. Just as easy to go back in and put us another one back in. Just like that. Trim, power trim. We got to extend these lines up to it. Extend those lines out, and we'll do a power trim. Alright, that looks quite a bit better. So now everything should be lined up for that. And now I want us to do a mirror entities. I'll grab all of those, and then my mirror is going to be right there. Check mark. Good. Now come in here and I'll delete this line out. Just delete that line out. That's solid. And then we just got to make sure not to forget this little line right here. And then we are done and ready. We're ready to exit our sketch. And when we do, it brings up the feature here, property manager of this, and we can put in exactly the thickness, which is 0.0625. It's automatic, so just check mark on that. And we have that. We have that one completed. Okay. And now we are going to put this on the other side as well, the same flange, and we can do that by putting us a work plane right in the middle. And there might be a work plane already right in the center of it, and there's not. And that's fine too. So what we'll do is, while we're in our feature mode, we'll hit reference geometry, plane, and when we come over here, what we do is hit this plane to this plane, and see how it puts one right a mid-plane, and then check mark. There's our plane, and all we have to do is come up here and then grab that tab right there, and we're actually just come up here and grab our mirror, and right here I can throw this out here. I'll grab that tab. Let's see, mirror, face plane. Oh, let's grab the plane first. Right there, the mirror, features to mirror, you grab your tab, puts it on the other side, check mark. There you go. Perfect. And I think there's one more thing that it wants you to do on here, and I think it wants you to fold one of the ears. It's got you to put, you're going to cut that little hole or slot out of this. You still got to do that. And I'll let you go ahead and knock that out. It's just use a regular sketch and regular cut on that. And we might as well go ahead and just do it ourselves here too. So sketch, we're going to hit this right here. We'll look at this thing straight on, and we're going to go up here this time and use our slot tool. So we'll just put that in here just like that, and then we can go and measure. It's a pretty simple little tool to use. It's pretty handy. That slot is located at 0.3 smart dimension, so it's right from off this to the center of this thing is 0.3 smart dimension to there, always close to it, 0.3. Now we just got to get it centered up and down on this thing right in the center, and I'm just going to put me a line in here, catch the midpoint, and just smart sketch it from that line to the center point, and that should be 0. Lines everything up, and then I'll just come in here and we'll get the overall length of this thing. It is 0.45. And there you go. And all you have to do on that now is you can hit this, or you can come up there after you exit the sketch. You can do it in feature up here or hit it right there. It's the same thing. So just grab that, and we're going to do a cut through all, check mark. So that's in, and at this point all I'll have left is just to, I think it's to bend over this little ear right here, and I'll show you how to do that. It's nothing major, it's nothing hard. All you gotta do is tell it a line to bend from, and let's get to that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to bend this flange. So we come down here to this sketch bend, and what you want to do is turn this so you can see it really good. And you want to go and we're going to put we're working in sketch mode here on this face. You had to click on that face, and then I'm going to go from the center point of this, bring that line over. I'll use my offset. Click on this line. I want that line to be on the other side, so I hit reverse right there. It's perfect. I'll delete this guy off right there. It's fine. And at that point, exit the sketch. Exit the sketch, and it's going to bring us into our property manager. And what you want to do here is just come down here and click on this area here, and you see how it folds that now. So now I'm going to get into putting the parameters in. Face 1 bend, I want to bend to the outside, so make sure you bend to the outside 90 degrees, and right here 0.09375 is exactly what you want for that bend radius. K factor and 0.41 is what they're wanting for that one, so just click on OK on that. So there you've got that bent, and from the rest of the ways out, I mean, it's just you can look through your tutorial, but you basically got it. You're going to put it on a sheet. But one cool thing about this is you can actually take and look at the flat pattern. And right down here, if you scroll down, right here's a flat pattern. If I click on that, just regular click on that, it will flat pattern this for you. And this is what it would have to be stamped like. And then you can click on it again, and he'll take it right back to the bend it. So whenever you put this in your drawing, if you follow your tutorial, you're going to see how that they're going to use their dies machines to cut this and stamp this out, and then you're going to show how you're actually going to form this. So it's pretty cool. If you have any questions, just contact me.